Now, let's please welcome our first presenter by Priyanto Widodo with article title is Effectiveness LCDA as a Model-Based LMS on the Slow Learners Achievement. To Mr. Priyanto Widodo, the time is yours.
Thank you, Ibu Alif. Good morning, everyone. Today, our team consists of Ma'am Lailatul Musyarofa and Mr. Joko Slamet and Mr. Priyanto Widodo. I will convey the title about the effectiveness LCDA as a model-based LMS on the slow learners achievement. Next, give to Ma'am Laila, to our presenter. Time is yours, Ma'am Laila.
Okay, thank you. Is my voice clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am. I see your PowerPoint.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you, Pak Pri. We are team, Pak Pri, I, and Mas Joko. So today I would like to present the rationale of why we put the title of Effectiveness LCDA as a model-based LMS on the slow learners achievement. Next slide, Pak. Thank you. As we know that the rapid growth of technology has started in 3.0 era, which focused on industries, while in era 4.0, educational world needs to integrate with technology if we, as the educational system or persons, do not want to be left behind. And in fact, some educators, especially me, should be forced by condition to move, to change the mindset from traditional to technology-based education. And then here we are, after or forced by COVID-19, we have to move from traditional to technology-based education. Thus, as TKIP PGRI Sidoarjo, funded by Educational Ministry, hold the research and build the LMS, and we catch up by building the LMS for supporting the educational system in STKIP PGRI Sidoarjo. While today, luckily, our students are technology literate, so they have no problem in operating technology, in get in touch with the LMS. But unluckily, not all of our students are normal or fast learners. Some of them are also slow learners. Today, we are going to do the research of pre-experimental design by finding out whether or not the LCDA model-based LMS effective for slow learners. Next, and then here are the gap that we are going to find out. There are some research finding that model-based LMS was successfully applied in e-learning material, and then on the other way around, other studies were successfully in developing and investigating a model-based LMS for students' writing skill. While the gap that we can find today is investigating of model-based LMS in its effectiveness on the slow learners' academic performance is limited discussion and still need to be considered. So the gap is in slow learners in using LMS. Okay, this is the method. As I mentioned before, that we use the pre-experimental design, and then there are 30 students of English for History Education Study Program that were selected using purposes sampling for the students who were identified as slow learners, because not all of our students are slow. And then while the hypothesis, there is no significant, and then there is significant in mean gain score of the slow learners for History Education Study Program at STKIP PGRI Sidoarjo. And then we use experimental group only for only one experimental group, pretest and post-test at the same group. And then for the next will be presented by Mas Joko. Mas Joko, are you already here?
Next, ma'am.
Okay, next. Okay, Mas Joko is presenting other thing in other Zoom. Okay, this is the finding. I'm not going to talk further about the number matters because this is done by SPSS. I'm going to talk about the discussion. Next, Pak Pri. Okay, this is the finding. Okay, for the hypothesis testing, the level of significance was 0.021, which was less than 0.05. It means that the alternative hypothesis, there is significant in mean gain score of the slow learners for history education study program at STKIP PGRI Sidoarjo was found to be accepted, while for gain score showed a significant improvement. And then in reflecting in technology characteristics, it is proven that users who are involved represent these qualities and discover that a user's ability to control the technology they are using, such as an LMS, is directly related to how well a learning environment works, mean it works well for slow learners. And then design-related learning instruction.
Mas Joko.
Sorry. While the last one, before Mas Joko is here, design-related learning instruction. The pace, order, and context of the lesson can all be changed under the learner's control in the learning activities. Furthermore, LMS effectiveness measure in terms of satisfaction, fairness, and usefulness towards students' academic achievement. Okay, that's all from me. Now it's time for Mas Joko to present. Mas Joko, time is yours.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Bulaila, for giving the time for this one. Okay, related to our papers, to the experimental group's achievement, gain scores show that it's significant improvement result, indicating that a model-based learning management system of LCDA, which apply to the 30 slow learners, really achieve a good improvement. So that this finding was supported by other previously related studies conducting model SLMS in educational process of learning that of course effectively improve the students' academic performance, such as the research conducted by Prasetyo in 2021. And then another one is also supported by Radia in 2019. The most likely explanation is that model as an LMS of e-learning platform has a lot of fascinating features like a chat box, an online test, a discussion forum, and access to course materials in both audio and video format. This report has been proven by some previous related studies such as Mayes in 2017, and then another one is Gamage et al. In 2022. Meanwhile, other suggests for the developers of module include a video, for example, video interactions with content related to the information will be need to be considered further. Okay, to sum up the findings of this research, model-based LMS called LCDA was really effective to be applied for the slow learners related to the materials, contents, and language used in the platform. However, this research is still had limited discussions with focusing only on the slow learners in the limited number of samples. To enrich and prove the findings further, it is very suggested and recommend to other research who wants to conduct the similar research area in this, particularly for the slow learners in LMS being applied in educational field, to approach with a large sample of subjects and involving the academic achievement in other specific skills, such as for the language skills, covering a listening comprehension or even reading comprehensions for special needs. That's all, and thank you. Hello, yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
that's
you.
all our presentations.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the first presenter. Okay, now the question for the first presenter. Yeah, you can raise up in your Zoom, or you can text your question in our chat box. Okay. Okay. The first question for this first presenter with the article title Effectiveness LCDA as a Moodle-based LMS on the Slow Learners Achievements. Okay. Any question for the first presenters? The topic is very interesting about the digital education. We know that digital education is urgently needed in addition to the rapid development of technology. And we know the COVID-19 pandemic bring us to the new normal, and this new era and technology bridges this. Okay, any question for the first presenter?
Maybe I'll agree.
We also open a discussion and also need some suggestion to improve our quality in writing. Yeah, that's where we
Okay.
have in this occasionally it's really about the sharing section, so we can improve each other. Yeah, especially in our quality in writing. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Q&A or suggestion or comments, please.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Joko. Selamat. Okay, the other participant, any question or sharing or discussion we open in this first article? Okay, I think this is a very interesting topic, right?
Yeah.
About the
Thank
digital
you.
education. Okay, we use e-learning, even we in this pandemic era, in the new normal. Yeah. Okay, any question?
Any suggestion, comments, please, or
Comment or suggestion
related
for
to the
our first
question, but this can be
presenters?
as comments because we are
Oh,
in
yeah,
sharing
okay.
actually. Yeah, we need to improve our quality in writing, so that's the term used is better to use as sharing sections.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, maybe the other is preparing their presentation.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, from Bu Yunika. Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for the time for me. Okay. Yes, I agree. It is very interesting material. Okay. Can you show me your LCDA or your LMS? Yeah. And the why when your student or your team design the LCDA, can you show us again?
Okay.
Yes, the website.
Oh, I see. Okay.
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 Just for a while, let me open this.
We see the LCDA together.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a moment, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on. Yes. We are trying to access that.
Okay.
LCDA is an acronym, is it right?
Yes, sure. Acronym.
For-
LCDA stands for e-learning as TKIP PGRI Sidoarjo Assistive.
Okay, it's like somebody's name.
Yeah.
Okay, in Universitas PGRI Madiun, we have ELMA, e-learning Universitas
Oh,
PGRI
that's great.
Madiun.
Oh, but in PGRI Palembang, we cannot recognize that. It is still learning PGRI Palembang,
Oh, okay.
not in a specific name.
Bu Yunika from UNIPMA.
Palembang. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay, Pak Pri, let me share the screen for the LCDA. Could you
Yeah.
please stop this? Yeah, okay.
Pak Pri, would you please stop sharing?
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. The LCDA, this one is the landing page of the our LMS. That can be accessed through the lms.lcda.ac.id, and then let me try to access from the
Course. Yeah.
admin account. Okay, yeah. This is the general rooms in LCDA. For the first, because this one the network is I think is unstable.
Slow.
So let this
Yes.
yeah. This is actually the homepage of the LCDA. This is yeah okay. The welcoming video at the beginning done by Pak Pri, our and then this one from Bulaila, the for the introductory and welcoming to the LCDA, and then what are the features inside in LCDA, and then we try to integrate our LCDA into our SIACAT also that can be accessed, and then in also for the e-library, and another one the feature is about the integration to our journals, so that it can, when it clicks, and then it can be open access for all the users are registered inside. And then these are some courses that we develop for this one. For let me open for this part.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, this one for our design inside. This one for the introductory in specific courses also has a variety of the video and welcoming speech from Bulaila as a lecturer in Bahasa Inggris for History program. And then this is our RPS also displayed there. And then some activities are available here for the first meeting, like word crisis, and then the gamification functions, and then also the interactive lessons, and then some gamification is such as the crossword, and then the familiar one is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and then and so forth. This is just our learning design in LCDA. Is that any comments, Ibu, please?
Okay. I think when teacher design the material in LCDA in one course, can you mention? Can you make sure that student give feedback about your material?
Oh yes, thank you. That's a great comment for that one. Yes, of course. To ensure our learning, our LMS, whether it's effective or not, at the end of the courses before they earn the certificate, automatically here we provide also the questionnaire, the electronic questionnaire that has been embedded there. Here we go. The sample. Okay. This we provide also the questionnaire after before they earn the certificate here. So this kind some feedback from the users. I mean for the students. Ibu.
Okay. Okay. That means that you make a regular and the structure it's to push student to learning. Okay.
Yes,
I
that's
agree.
right. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank
Thank
you
you,
for all the
Mr.
comments and the
Joko.
suggestions. Okay.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
Mrs.
you.
Yunika. And any other question or discussion with our first presenter? Okay, enough? Okay, thank you, Mr. Joko Slamet, for showing
Yes.
us your LCDA.
You're welcome. We
Okay,
are
thank
in the
you.
team. Yes.
Okay,
We
thank
are
you for
in
your
a
good
team in
presentation.
from Sidoarjo.
Okay, okay.
Bulala and Pabri.
Okay, thank you for the first presenter. Thank you, Mr.
Okay,
Joko
thank you
Slamet,
so
for
much.
showing us
Yeah.
your LCDA.
Yes.
And thank you for your great presentation.
Okay, most
Thank you.
welcome.
Okay, now we go to the second presenter with Miss Tricia, but Miss Tricia sent our video presentation, but our committee doesn't accept this video. So we go to the third presenter with Natalie Joy, and with article title is a decision support system for predicting students' performance in the National Achievement Test, or NAT, of senior high school students. For Miss Natalie, the time is yours.
Okay, ma'am. Let me share my screen first. Wait for a while. Can you see my screen
Yes, ma'am.
clearly, ma'am?
Yes,
Can you also, am I audible?
Yes. Yes, it's
Thank
clear
you.
now. Yes.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I am Natalie Joy G. Casildo from College of Information Sciences and Computing, Central Mindanao University. Today, I will be presenting our study entitled The Decision Support System for Predicting Students' Performance in the National Achievement Test of Senior High School Students. It is vital to evaluate students' performance. It can be applied to curriculum reviews, test difficulty, evaluations, and learner knowledge assessments. Technology makes it possible to assess students' achievement without putting in a lot of work through a decision support system. A DSS can assist humans in making decisions. Certain analysis must be performed in order to design a decision support system. Data mining will be the mode of analysis. The approach will be known as educational data mining, and it will involve leveraging educational data sets. Decision Support System, or DSS, will significantly reduce the amount of work that teachers must do. Now, the Northern Mindanao Regional Development Policy Research Agenda 2017 to 2022 midterm update states that the region's national achievement test results indicate a worrying situation. Students' NAT scores have been steadily declining over the preceding 3 years, placing them in the poor mastery or low proficiency description category. The DSS will minimize the workload on teachers during the assessment process while also assisting in predicting students' performance on the National Achievement Test. Now, the goal of this project is to create a digital tool that uses data mining techniques to forecast how well students will perform on the National Achievement Test by creating a decision support system based on the students' grades. Now, for the methodology, there are 2 phases. First phase is the methodical approach in the development of the model, and the second phase is the development of the web application. In the methodical approach, the process that was used came from the knowledge discovery database, which consists or which starts from data collection, data cleaning or pre-processing, data mining, the DSS algorithm, which uses SVM or support vector machine with sigmoid kernel, which achieved an overall accuracy of 96%. And by that, we saved the trained model, and this trained model was used in the phase 2, which is the development of the web application. We load the model and develop the web application. Now, the major goal of this project is to create a decision support system that can predict, depending on a student's grades, how well they would perform on the National Achievement Test by following the methodology spaces. This study has developed a system that can forecast test results for the National Achievement Test based on the student's grades. Now, this application depicts the outcome of the development and is titled Not Prediction Web Application. Each text box has question about the grade in a certain subject, and when the button labeled Student Not Result is clicked, the analysis of data mining techniques that were employed will be applied to determine the outcome that is displayed. The data utilized in this study was gathered from the previous study of Casildo 2022. Now, it became feasible and highly probable to develop a decision support system utilizing a data mining model. This study has demonstrated the extent to which educational data mining and decision support system can be beneficial. It will be very beneficial in assessing and evaluating students' performance in a variety of subjects and fields, not just the National Achievement Test. If the data is gathered in real time, this type of system will be very helpful to teachers in the evaluation of learners. And this might be an evolution on how teachers assess their students. Now, there are a few suggestions that have come out of this study that will assist or that will make this study improve. The first issue is that there aren't many data sets being gathered. More data sets would be very useful. Because the data set is only exclusive to a certain semester at CMU and a small number of students, the analysis and model will not be very helpful for students in other batches or other types. If evaluating the performance of the students per region is the primary objective, collecting and utilizing additional data sets will be necessary. In order to discover differences, it is advisable to use another type of algorithm rather than the SVM, which will result in less overfitting. Now, the second recommendation is the use of oversampling functions or other strategies that will help in overcoming overfitting. Finally, although feature selection was not employed in this study, it may be useful to do so in the future to choose just subjects that are significantly related to the National Achievement Test and to identify the relationship between various subjects. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Natalie, for your great presentation. Yeah. Is it enough?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, thank you, Natalie, for your presentation. And now, please give a question or discussion or suggestion for this Natalie paper. Okay, Mr. Edgar, I see you rise up. Okay.
And I would just like to comment the manner of presentation, even that of the result of Ma'am Casildo, because indeed it's very much useful on the Philippine educational system, especially that each of the schools in the Philippines are actually basing their budget also from that of the outcome from the National Achievement Test. So indeed, the product or the technology that was made by Ma'am Casildo indeed will be very much useful in the prediction of the students' output or outcome on the National Achievement Test. Congratulations, Ma'am Natalie.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Edgar, for your comment. To Miss Natalie. Okay, any questions to Miss Natalie article? I think it's very useful for us, yeah, for the teacher to evaluate our students' performance, yeah. And this technology very helpful for this teacher. Okay, any questions for Miss Natalie article? Okay. Ms. Natalie article have a title Decision Support System for Predicting Students' Performance in the National Achievement Test or NIT of Senior High School Students. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Or other comments or other suggestion for Ms. Natalie article? Okay, enough? Okay, this is a question from Mr. Edgar Anud. Okay, I will tell. It just would like to ask if this is available for the teachers to utilize already, and if yes, how can they get this application? Okay, Miss Natalie.
Thank you so much for that question. Yeah, I really appreciate your question. However, this is just our first study with the decision support system. And then this is based from our previous study, and we decided to why not develop a decision support system out of students' performance. So, but because of some of the things to be improved during the recommendation, which we are hopeful to improve it, maybe it will be available soon if we can work on with some of the recommendation, since accuracy is still a problem because of the data set, sir. But if we have, large amount of data set, like we can gather the whole region in the Philippines, whole one region, then that will be possible that we can use this application.
Okay. How about the Miss Natalie answer, Mr. Edgar?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Edgar, for your question. And thank you again for Miss Natalie for answering this question. And for the great presentation. It was a pleasure to have you with us, Miss Natalie. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the next presenter. For presenter, okay, before I go to the next presenter, please, for Mr. Sandy Haryanto, you can rename your Zoom with the format room G_13, because in the 13 your participant number is 13 and then underscore your name. Okay, thank you, Mr. Sandy Haryanto. Okay, the fourth presenter is Julcaya Bavera. Okay, with the title is Online Learning Attitudes and Basic Computer Literacy of Teacher Education Students. Okay, for the fourth presenter, are you ready? No? Okay, the four presenters may be not join with us. Okay, we go to the fifth presenter, Jeremy Jesenses, Heidi Joy B. Bautista, Jenny Line S. Lisayan, with article title is Exploring ICT Competence of Cervantes District Teachers, Basis for Training the Science for Extension Program. For the fifth presenters, the time is yours. Miss Jenny Lion Lisayan, you can present now. Are you ready for the presentation? Miss Jenny, can you hear my voice? Yes, okay, you can present now.
Ma'am, we sent a video recording yesterday, ma'am.
Okay. Wait a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I will play this video from Miss Jenny. Okay. Okay, because our committee still search the video, we go to the next presenter maybe. Okay, the seventh presenter, Miss May Lestari. Are you ready, Miss May Lestari? With the article titled Javanese Static as the Development of Android-Based Interactive Learning Media. Miss Lestari? Okay, okay, thank you, Mr. Edgar. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, because the Miss May Lestari may be not join with us, so I will show you the video presentation from Maria Teresa with the article titled Information Technology Students Life Experience in the New Educational Implementation. Okay, please wait a moment.
Good day, everyone. I am Dr. Maria Teresa T. Garcia, one of the researchers of this study entitled Information Technology Students' Live Experiences in the New Educational Implementation. Introduction. The dramatic attack of the COVID-19 pandemic resulted in a lockdown and caused the postponement of the face-to-face learning engagement of students and teachers within the school. This pandemic has paved the way for the implementation of modular distance learning as an immediate response to ensure the quality of education to be rendered for the students where they were obliged to do home-based schooling. Thus, this study aimed to investigate the overall learning experiences of information technology students upon the sudden switch of learning platforms. Specifically, it aimed to describe the experiences of IT students on their learning experiences during the COVID-19 pandemic. Second, to determine the learning challenges faced by information technology students upon the sudden shift in the learning platform. Third, to gather recommendations from students regarding their academic concerns as the basis for addressing various learning issues encountered while learning upon the sudden shift in the educational platform. Methodology. The descriptive qualitative research design was used in this study, applying the phenomenological research design. Participants' interviews via calls and messaging, both online and through phone, were conducted. Unstructured interview questionnaire based on self-made questions listed in interview guide. However, participants had the freedom to talk about their experiences in a way in which they were comfortable with. The participants of the study were purposely selected from the Bachelor of Science in Information Technology enrollees of the Ilocos Polytechnic State College, Santa Maria campus. The researchers used the criteria sampling technique in determining the respondents of the study. The following criteria were considered. First, they must be enrolled in the college for school year 2021-2022. Second, they must be 4-piece members. Third, they must live in an upland municipalities. And fourth, willing to be interviewed. 10 information technology students who met the criteria were engaged in the study. The thematic analysis was incorporated in identifying, analyzing, and describing the recurring patterns taken from the overarching statements of the participants. Colysis method was used to guide the data analysis for this study, which includes 7 steps. First, read all the contents of an interview. Second, extract significant statements. Third, formulate meanings. Fourth, organize the collection of meanings into clusters of themes. Fifth, integrate the clusters of themes into an exhaustion description. 6. Establish the fundamental structure of the phenomenon identified by an unequivocal statement. And 7. Return to interviewees for further information. That's according to Shusha 2012. Results and discussion. The systematic coding of the transcribed interview of the information technology students resulted in 3 themes. First theme is on the limitedness of interaction due to the situation. According to participant 3, the slow internet connections that we have hinders us to interact during virtual classes because of the students are unable to comprehend the presented lessons. It was seconded by participant 1 who said, "There are times that I cannot express my ideas and queries well about the lesson through online platforms." With regards to the second theme, hard to adapt, inability to adapt. Participant 5 said, "During the pandemic, the internet plays a big role in learning since some of the learning platforms requires the use of internet. However, it became one of the major challenges of online learning." Further, participant 2 said, "It's not easy to adapt this kind of learning, which is the online class, especially when we are experiencing poor connection and in modular. It's hard to understand the topics and lessons, especially when the instructions and examples are not clear and understandable." In addition, participant 4 also commented that there are occasions when we are unable to participate in the online class because not all the students have the necessary gadget for online classes. And participant 10 concluded, "In terms of adapting to our OJT on this online platform, it is really hard for me as an IT student because I needed laptop to accomplish all the requirements because I am just borrowing the laptop I am using." The recommendations from students regarding their academic concerns as the basis for addressing various learning issues encountered while learning upon the sudden shift in the educational platform, specifically on the theme favoring the return of the old normal classes. Participant 4 said, if I have given a chance to speak out, I would definitely address the issue on having face-to-face classes again. We are given enough doses of vaccines to protect ourselves from the virus, but why are we still locked on this kind of learning platform? Participant 5 added, we students are easily distracted with the things surrounding us, and it will be great if instructors have the ability to draw the attention and interest of their students on the subject course. Participant 4 also said, for students who cannot attend their online classes due to poor connectivity, recording the entire class or any additional video materials that will explain the topic and then be uploaded for them to download so they can watch it even offline would benefit them so that they would not be left behind. The following are the conclusions. First, the information technology students experience limited opportunities in the teaching learning process in a virtual classroom due to slow internet connections and inhibitions of students to express their insights and queries. Second, the student respondents were hard up to adapt to the online modality because of the state of internet connectivity and lack of suitable gadgets to be used in online learning. Third, the respondents recommended the implementation of face-to-face classes again. And last, instructors must be more creative and resourceful in their teaching, primarily in online teaching. The following are the recommendations. First, institutional researches identifying the ability and readiness of the school to implement face-to-face classes to suffice the needs and the voice of the students and to give solutions to their problems on internet connectivity and insufficiency of gadgets. Second, research on the teaching competence of the instructors in the college to determine their teaching needs to be improved by a teaching training competence and development for the purpose of uplifting quality education. Thank you very much and God bless us all.
Okay, ladies and
Good
gentlemen.
day.
Okay, this is the video presentation from Maria Teresa with article title is Information Technology Students' Life Experience in the New Educational Implementation. But Mrs. Teresa not joined with us today, so maybe one of you can give suggest or comment for Miss Maria Teresa, so she can see our suggestions or comment in the YouTube channel the next time. Okay, maybe any suggestion for Miss Maria Teresa article, ladies and gentlemen? Maybe not a question because Miss Maria Teresa not joined with us today. Maybe our comment or suggestion can helpful for me the next article for Miss Maria Teresa. Okay, any comment or suggestion for Miss Maria Teresa article? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, any comment or suggestion? Okay, no? Okay. So we go to the next presenter, our seventh presenter, Miss May Lestari, with the article Javanese Batik as the development of Android-based interactive learning media. Mrs. May Lestari? Okay, Mrs. May Lestari not joined with us. Okay, our eighth presenter, Mrs. Lestari Aningsih. Okay, with the article title is Learning the Concept of Absolute Value with Multi-Representation Approach-Based Instructional Video. For Mrs. Lestari Aningsih, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Moderator, Ms. Dita. We have some same name, Lestari and Lestariani. Okay, let me present my paper, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. It's still loading. Okay.
Miss
How about-
Lian, I can
Yes.
see your PowerPoint.
Okay.
Thank you.
But it is still. Okay. Oh, it is hard to play the animation, Ms. Tita. The animation is not showing. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. The paper is about learning the concept of absolute value with multi-representation approach-based instructional video. The team are Dr. Rohana, MPD, and me, myself, Unika Lestarianingsih, but the Miss Rohana cannot be attended this occasional because she attending the graduation ceremony at our university. Okay. As the introduction, the concept of absolute value is one of the mathematical concepts that can be represented in a variety of ways. So that we choose the multi-representation approach to learning the concept of absolute value. This concept is difficult to grasp, even for every level of education. Okay, the concept is learning for the first time at grade 10. And in the university level, the concept is learning again by the student. But even though in the higher education, in university, students still feel difficulties to learning this concept. Okay, the following are some of the difficulties. For example, students do not understand the definition of absolute value. Students hard to determine the completion interval of absolute value equation or inequalities, and students hard to apply the properties of absolute value in the problem solving process and graphs of completion. As a consequence, numerous studies have been conducted to help students understand this concept. A number line can help to visualize the concept of absolute value. It is hoped that use of appropriate learning media will improve students' comprehension. So as the solution, we choose this research, use multi-representation approach-based instructional video as media for learning the absolute value. Okay, next. A research problem in this paper is how students understand the concept of absolute value after learning with video media using a multi-representation approach. The method is, this study is a quantitative descriptive. The study includes 68 students from SMA PGRI to Palembang's grade 10. Data for the study were gathered with tests, interviews, and documentation. And then, as the result, okay, the learning process is divided into two meet, okay, and then two instructional. One instructional is with video, and the link is this is the link. We upload the video in YouTube channel, and the second is this is the link for the second video. Okay. The process learning can be shown in the picture as shown. Okay. So student learning with the concept of absolute value with media video, but the teacher will give the explanation after student learning with video. And then after two second meeting, 2-second meeting in the process of classroom, the student will take test, and the test score is available in table 1. Okay, the test of students' understanding about absolute value. The score is in this table, the distribution frequency. Okay, and 6 students score enough, and 51 students in a good score, and 11 student with a very good category score. Okay. This is the private SMA, not in governor. So the competence of student is indifferent, in heterogen, I mean. So it is not a grade A. It is not a grade A student. Okay. So the input is bisa the score is based on the student's learning. And then, okay, we continue to analyze data with aspect from the understanding indicator. This is the aspect. First, definition of absolute value of a variable. It is still poor. And then definition of absolute value of a constant. It is a good score, 71.64. And then student make a graph interpretation for absolute value equation solution. It is a good category 2. It is 75.37. And the graph of interpretation for solution to absolute value for inequalities is still poor. And the student formulate the problem to determine the solution is good category. And student find the answer, the absolute value equation is a good category 2. And student find the answer of the absolute value in inequalities is still in a good category 2. So from this analysis data, we gather that the students still poor in 2 aspects, which is the definition of absolute value of a variable, and then graph interpretation about the inequalities. Okay. So the conclusion of this paper is, according to the study's findings, students' understanding of absolute value concept after learning with multi-representation approach-based instructional video is in a good category. And the indicator that defines the absolute value of a variable has the lowest level of achievement, so that it is recommended that future studies look for ways to clarify this definition of absolute value. Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It is the end of my presentation. I think I gave you the to my moderator. Okay, Ms. Dita.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Lestarianingsih. This is your great presentation. Thank you so much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, any question or suggestion or comment for Mrs. Lestarianingsih article?
Nice talk. Oh no. Stop share or?
Yes, you can stop sharing. Okay, Ms. Lestarianingsih, article with the title is Learning the Concept of Absolute Value with Multi-Representation Approach-Based Instructional Videos. Okay, any comment or suggestion or question maybe for Ms. Lestarianingsih? Okay, I think this is the developments of technology makes teachers or lecturers have a variety of learning media or delivering material to our students in this pandemic COVID 2 years ago, maybe restricted.
We have to learning in various way, including the learning with videos. It is very useful for students.
Yes.
And the learning video is completed with the competencies, okay, and then exercising, so students can learn, and feedback maybe, because we open the commentator in the YouTube. Okay, so when they had a problem or something trouble, you can use contact the admin, and the admin is a teacher.
Okay. Okay, Miss Lestarianingsih. So when you upload your video in your YouTube channel, so the interaction between you and your students is by the comment in YouTube, right?
Yes, but the student is like the comment because the video is play in the class, so the interaction is immediately. Okay.
Okay.
But the video is we open access for the students of other place.
Oh, okay. So maybe I can access your material sometimes.
Okay. In mathematics.
Oh, okay. And now in Universitas PGRI Madiun, I will teach the counting.
Okay, I can think because it is
Okay.
from the grade 10 students in high school can use this video too.
Okay. So
Okay,
this
but
is a
in
very
mathematics,
helpful.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because the mathematics needs the watching your materials one more time.
Understanding,
So
understanding, exercising.
Okay. Okay.
But
Thank
when
you.
students say that it is different from the example, ma'am, it is hard.
Yes. Yes. I
That's the
agree with
challenge.
the students, Mr.
Okay.
Lestarianingsih.
Yeah, you have to use your reasoning, your critical thinking to solve this problem. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Lestarianingsih, for your great presentation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, any question or comment or suggestion for Mrs. Lestarianingsih? Okay. Any question? No? Is it
Because
enough?
mathematics is
The mathematics is very hard.
hunted.
Since I in elementary school, I think mathematics is it's very difficult. Okay.
It make my pain pain.
Yeah. Okay, but now I still in accounting, maybe
It is
similar with mathematics, but I don't know why I love accounting than mathematics. Because in my childhood, mathematics is very hard.
okay.
Okay, thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen.
Okay, no questions for Mrs. Lestarianingsih? Is it enough, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, because it's mathematics, absolute
Because
value.
it's mathematics.
Absolute value.
Okay, Mr. Edgar gives two
Yes.
thumbs for you, Mr. Lestarianingsih.
Okay.
Maybe he is agreed with us. Mathematics is hard.
It is not too hard.
It's not too
The
hard.
key is learning. Learning.
Okay. We go to. Oh, thank you, Mr. Lestarianingsih, for your great presentation.
Okay.
Maybe the next time the mathematics is not so hard again.
Oh, not at all.
Okay. Okay, thank you for Mrs. Lestarianingsih for your great presentation. I have a pleasure to have you in this panel session. Okay, this is a comment from Mrs. Laitu. Maybe I can read for you. I really want to appreciate Ibu Yunika. You are mathematics teachers or lecturers, but you can speak English very well. Give applause to Mrs. Lestarianingsih. Thank you for your comment, Mrs. Lailatul Musyarofa. Okay, now we go to the next presenter, our number 9 presentation, Miss Adeline Silaban. With the article titles is Improvement of Critical Thinking Ability Using E-Learning. But Mrs. Adeline sent the video presentation so we can watch together her video. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, because the video from Mrs. Adeline cannot found in our Google Drive. So I will go to the next presenter, to Mr. Alfredo M. Esteban, with the title of article is Technology, Proficiency, and Academic Stress Level of Pre-Service Teachers Under the New Normal. Mr. Alfredo? Okay, you can prepare your presentation now. The time is yours, Mr. Alfredo.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Dr. Alfredo.
Thank you so
You're
much.
already seen.
So, good morning, everyone. Our research is entitled Technology Proficiency and Academic Stress Level of Pre-Service Teachers Under the New Normal. And we are from the College of Education at Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology. Let me present to you my co-presenters of this research. We have Dr. Annalisa B. Tanghal and Mr. Christopher R. Vergara. So better education outcomes can be achieved through increased usage of access to technology and services. That's according to United Nations in 2020. And in relation to that, the use of technology has the greatest potential to contribute to the accomplishment of the Sustainable Development Goals by the year 2030. In particular, when it comes to education. So educators, including those who are still in the pre-service level, have a lot to gain from the advancements in technology. Consequently, pre-service teachers who are technologically savvy are better equipped to identify and explore a wide variety of technological tools. So the advent of the new normal has changed the landscape of traditional teaching and learning process. However, the adaptation that the education sector is making to tackle the pandemic is not simply a transfer to an online mode of instruction. Rather, it is a system that delivers and makes effective use of technology. Furthermore, the education sector is undergoing a profound change as a result of the advent of technology. Hence, pre-service teachers are broadly affected by the pandemic because of the sudden change in the learning environment. And one of the glaring effects of COVID-19 outbreak on a pre-service teacher was that half of their teaching practicums was done via distance education. And under the new normal, technology and education contributes to a widening inequality among pre-service teachers. With this revolution, it is inevitable that pre-service teachers may experience stress, specifically in their academic aspect. Stress was a common experience among university students, not just for pre-service teachers, and the changes created by the new normal have reinforced students' stress levels. Therefore, this transformation in learning environments because of the new normal causes stress to our pre-service teachers, to which they have felt more challenged. One of the widespread reasons for students' lack of readiness in this endeavor is the abrupt transformation of the learning environment, as well as the curriculum and pedagogical changes that have recently been implemented. In light of the pandemic, they have felt unprepared. However, they need to adapt with the emerging educational technologies for them to maximize their potentials. In this study, we assess the technological proficiency and academic stress level of pre-service teachers under the new normal, particularly answering the following objectives. One is to describe the profile of the respondents. Two, assess the respondents' level of technological proficiency. Examine the respondents' level of academic stress. And finally, correlate technology proficiency and academic stress levels of pre-service teachers. At this point, I will turn you over to Mr. Christopher Vergara. Sir?
Good morning, everyone. For the research design, I'm the one assigned for the research design of this study. So the researcher used descriptive correlational research. Descriptive correlational research aims to discover the relationship between variables and among variables and enable to present the information and enable to predict the future outcomes or the future events using the existing data. Considering the objectives of this research, descriptive correlational suits to the objectives of this present study. For the respondents of the study, the respondents were chosen using purposive sampling. It is composed of 152 pre-service teachers, 64 male and 88 female from the College of Education of Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology. So for the research instrument, the study used the online survey questionnaire as the primary tool for data gathering. Number one, we use the Technology Proficiency Self-Assessment Questionnaire for 21st Century Learning, or TIPSA-C 21, by Christensen and Zinek 2016. And another research instrument that we adopted, we use the Perceptions of Academic Stress, or PASS scale by Bidiwi and Gabriel 2015. In order to analyze our data, we use the following statistical tool. To describe the profile of the respondents, we use frequency count and percentage. And to describe the technological proficiency as well as the level of stress, the researcher used mean and standard deviation to describe our data. And another one, to determine the relationship of our variables. Okay, after testing the parametric assumptions, we use the Pearson-R correlation to determine its significance. And we also considered some ethical aspect for our research as voluntary participation, informed consent, anonymity, and Data Privacy Act of the Philippines.
Yes, good morning, everyone. So it's now my turn to discuss our results and discussion for our research. So on the screen, you have the first table wherein the table describes the profile of the pre-service teachers in the lens of the following variables. So we have sex, technological devices, we have daily internet usage, and the internet speed. So based on the results, so most pre-service teachers were female. So it is 57.89%. It is corresponding to the findings of Esteban and Cruz in 2021, where the teacher education institutions are mostly dominated by female. So in terms of the technological devices, among the 152 respondents that we have, so 78.29% owned a smartphone. So during the pandemic, the education sector shifted to digital learning environment, to which a smartphone has become the most commonly used device. So the ability to connect to the internet whether and wherever desired is a significant benefit offered by the mobile devices. That is according to Katsumata in 2022. So in terms of the daily internet usage, pre-service teachers mostly go online for about 6 to 10 hours, or it is equivalent to 46.71%. So in the Philippines, the average use of the internet is 9 hours and 45 minutes on a daily basis. With the onset of the pandemic prompting school to shift from traditional into virtual classroom, it is about tolerable to spend much amount of time for different online activities, such as synchronous classes, answering activities in the web, surfing the net, watching videos, and many others. So in terms of the internet speed, 103 or 67.76% of the pre-service teachers have the internet speed of 1 to 5 Mbps. So correspondingly, according to the OCLA in Speed Test Global Index in July 2020 report, that the median fixed broadband speeds of the country are now at 50.26 Mbps. And the Philippines, sadly, is ranked as number 63 worldwide. So on the contrary, the respondents do not enjoy such internet connection since most of them live in the rural areas where there is limited access to Wi-Fi and broadband. Okay, so to continue the results and discussion. So next table shows the respondents' level of technology proficiency in terms of the following aspects. First, in sending emails. Next, using World Wide Web, integrating applications, teaching with technology, teaching with emerging technologies and applications of emerging tools. So based on the result, as you can see on the table, pre-service teachers are proficient in the application and utilization of the technology. It has generally weighted mean of 3.88 that falls under proficient level. And it only means that majority of the respondents belong to this level. Okay, so it can be the result of our research can be related to the net generation theories in 2020, who states that the younger generation is more knowledgeable, informed, and skilled about the innovation central to society's functioning. So in locally, it is also supported locally by Matias and Agapito Jr. in 2022, penned that with our current situation, we became all content creator and through the advancement of technology. Indeed, Tanghalen de Leon in 2022 emphasized that the appropriateness of multimedia and technology weighted integrated in the teaching learning process that could be very beneficial for both teachers and learners. Next slide, please. Okay, so this table summarizes the respondents' level of academic stress that further discussed by the three following statements. So we have the stress related to academic expectations. Next is stresses related to faculty work and examinations. And next is true stress related to students' academic self-perceptions. So in terms of the stress related to academic expectations, the results show that the pre-service teachers experience high stress when the teachers are critical of their academic performance. So in the context of our study, the pre-service teachers are enrolled in the subject that is technology related. Hence, their academic performance relative to technology proficiency may somehow affect the level of the stress they experience. So next, as regards to the stress level to faculty work and examinations, so as you can see, items number 2, 3, 6, 7, and 8 are the causes of high stress among the pre-service teachers. So topping the list is the statement, examination times are very stressful to me, where pre-service teachers undergo assessment of their technological skills. So thereby causing high levels of stress to them. And then lastly, so in terms of the stress related to students' academic self-perceptions, the results reveal that the pre-service teachers fear failing in their course, which is technology related. So pre-service teachers understand the value of education. So therefore, they exert their all efforts to pass their subjects, including those have something to do with the technology. So overall, as you can see, the general weighted mean is 3.45. So it only means, or it only shows that the respondents' level of academic stress is rated somehow high. So taking into the consideration the background of this study, So these academic stresses are technology related since the respondents are enrolled in the subject that involves technology. So under the new normal, the classes shifted to online learning. So making technology an omnipresent educational necessity. So in essence, the respondents' level of academic stress may be attributed to their proficiency in using technology. So,
and now for the main objective of the study, we correlate the two variables. We correlate the technology proficiency of our pre-service teachers and the academic stress level that they experience. The correlational table shows the analysis. We use Pearson R correlation to determine the significance of the correlation with 1 to 5% level of significance. As indicated in the table, we can see that technology proficiency is significantly correlated to stress related to academic expectations and stress related to work and examinations. Okay, it only shows that pre-service teachers with higher level of technology proficiency experience more stress in terms of academic expectations and work and examinations. So what does it mean? Certainly, the use of technology have a great advantages and benefits. However, there are setbacks. Okay, there are some setbacks or limitations as we use or disadvantage as we use the technology. And one of that is the stress, increase of level of stress. Certainly, the use of technology have countless of advantages. However, it also had negative consequences. As students rely more on technology, they experience uncertainty and complexity that lead to techno overload, which lead to academic stress, increase of academic stress level. So we must find ways. On the data, the correlation only shows that we must find ways to maximize the benefits of using technology while minimizing the disadvantage of technology which involve stress.
So you've heard the discussion, and just to reiterate the main finding of our study, that the respondents' level of academic stress may be attributed to their use of technology, particularly in terms of stresses related to academic expectations and work examinations, as reflected by the high general weighted mean. Therefore, our group recommends that teacher education institutions should be encouraged to divert the phenomenal addictiveness of pre-service teacher on the use of technology into something more meaningful, such as inquiry-based activities, rather than mere leisure-based engagements, thereby preventing, if not entirely eradicating, academic stress due to technology proficiency. And of course, further research on similar topics. At this point, we would like to acknowledge, of course, the Universitas PGRI Madiun, UNIPMA. Thank you for the invitation extended to the College of Education of Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology, particularly to Dr. Angelica O. Cortez. And these are our references. And once again, we are your team presenting the technology proficiency and academic stress level of pre-service teachers. That would be all. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. For the 10 presenter today from Mr. Alfredo M. Esteban and his team. For the title of article is Technology Proficiency and Academic Stress Level of Pre-Service Teachers Under the New Normal. Okay, thank you for your quick presentation. Okay, any question, comment, or suggestion for our 10 presenter today? Okay, this is the very interesting topic, yeah, about the technology proficiency and academic stress level under the pre-service teachers in the new normal era. Okay, because this pandemic COVID-19 make us to more creative maybe, and we forced to the development of technology, yeah, to during this pandemic COVID-19. Okay, any comment, question, or suggestion for our 10 presenter today? Okay, no, enough, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Mrs. Lestarianingsih. Okay, you have question for our presenter?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you, Ms. Moderator. Okay, this is a very interesting, yeah, because in pre-service teacher, it is like the same condition I face in my university. Okay, I want to know if your student is come from the capital city or in the village, because the technology is related with a signal. My student is very too hard to find a good quality the internet signal in their village. So the stress is become higher than the student live in the main city or near the university. Okay, how about that?
Okay.
Thank you so much for the question, Ma'am Unica. Ibu Unica.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. We actually experienced the same problem here in the Philippines, particularly in our province, the Nueva Ecija. However, in this particular study, we did not take into consideration the residents of our pre-service teachers. But in another study, of which I was a part of, we included the residents or the location of our students as in relation to the signal problems that you are saying. So yes, there is also problem in relation to that one, since most of our students are also living in areas that cannot be reached by internet.
Okay, okay. Because I see the questionnaire, I find there is in located area of the student, it is not mentioned in the questionnaire. Okay, it's okay. Thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
Ms.
thank you.
Nidita. Okay.
Thank you,
Okay, thank
ma'am.
you. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Lestarianingsih, for your question. Thank you for Mrs. Alfredo for answering this question. Okay, any questions, suggestions, or comment for our 10 presenter today? Okay, no? Is it enough? Okay, Mr. Edgar. Okay.
Yes, good morning. Again, name bigat, sir, ma'am. I would like to ask actually, because on your study actually is looking onto the technological proficiency and correlating it with academic stress. Now, I would like to ask if there are any of the statements, because I wasn't able to really read well on the statement of each of the subconstructs of the academic stress. If there is any of the statements in any of those subconstructs of the academic stress that is talking about technology also.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. Edgar, with regards to the academic stress level, so the questionnaire is in general, sir. Okay, the pass or the academic stress level is in general. However, the context here is students that studying under online learning, and also they are enrolled in a educational subject. So that's why we are able to correlate the stress, the technology proficiency. We measure the technological proficiency and the academic stress level related to with regards to the context of technology, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. At least it was been cleared from my end, because what I am actually hoping for is that at least any of those subconstructs in the academic stress should be talking also of technology for us to really correlate and have this relationship of indeed technology proficiency and academic stress in relation to technology itself. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. We will take that into consideration, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. In relation to that, sir, they are not explicitly stated in the subconstructs. However, just to reiterate what Sir Vergara said, since the students are enrolled in a technology-related subject, the context of the study is somehow built upon that concept.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Sir Edgar. That is part of my discussion a while ago. So I also reiterate that our respondents are enrolled in some subjects with technology. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Mr. Edgar. And for Mr. Alfredo Teams, it is the the great discussion, okay, about the academic stress level and technology. Okay, the attendance and evaluation links have been opened in the chat box. Please fill in the link. Okay, next we go to the next presenter, Mr. Edgar Jr. with the article title is Relationship between Technological, Pedagogical, and Content Knowledge, or TPEC, Self-Efficiency, 21st Century Instructional Skills and Performance of Science Teachers. But Mr. Edgar sent us the video presentation, so let's join the video of Mr. Edgar Arnott Jr. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgar, because you sent the video different type from the committee instruction. Maybe the little. Okay, wait a minute.
No problem with me, ma'am, because if you would allow, I can also just present it today, that we can maximize our time.
Okay, maybe you can presentation now without video, maybe.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
I hope my presentation is already.
Yes, I can see it.
I see your PowerPoint.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Okay. Okay, so I have now my presentation, and okay, so again, good morning, everyone. Selamat pagi semuanya, mabuhay. And
Good morning.
it is
Selamat
my
pagi.
great, yes, it is with great privilege and pleasure to share my humble handiwork during this third International Conference on Education and Technology of the ICETECH 2022. I am Edgar Emmanuel Jr., and together with me is Dr. Virgincita B. Caro, and we are all from the Central Mindanao University, Philippines, and the title of my study is Technological, Pedagogical, and Content Knowledge, TPAC, Self-Efficacy, 21st Century Instructional Skills and Performance of Teachers. Now, according to Aquino 2015, there is an urgent and ongoing need to integrate technology really into the learning process, especially that when today's learners are highly reliant on the availability of technology. Now, the technological pedagogical content knowledge, or TPAC, is a term to explain how technology is used in the classroom. Further, according to Chen 2008, some educators lack the necessary abilities and competencies to effectively integrate technology in the teaching and learning process. Now, teachers score lowest actually for sophisticated teaching abilities such as questioning, discussion tactics, and interacting with students about the subject using technological means. And that's according to Kane and Steiger. And lastly, because of the difficulties in internet connection here in the Philippines, teachers are not given lasting technological training, as evident in the research details of San Buenaventura 2019. Now, with these points, the main purpose of this study is then to gather data and information on science teachers' TPACs of efficacy, level, 21st century instructional skills, and performance in order to serve as the groundwork for their professional development. For the methodology of my study, causal comparative research design was followed in this study, and all of the secondary schools of the divisions of Bukidnon, Malaybalay City, and Valencia City of Mindanao, Philippines, were included in the local of the study, where 386 science teachers serve as a participant, which are the total turnout of the responses using that of the total population sampling. Now, for the first statement of the problem, what level of self-efficacy do secondary science teachers exhibit in TK, CK, PK, PCK, TCK, TPK, and TPAC? And I had made use of the TPAC self-efficacy survey questionnaire of Sini and Kamal 2012, wherein I had 0.972 Cronbach alpha values when I had my pilot testing, making it a really reliable instrument to be used. And I made use of mean and frequency count to have my data be processed. Now, the teacher's TPAC self-efficacy is overall high, as seen on the mean value of 4.23. And it is worthy to note that the technological content knowledge, or TCK, has the highest mean score with 4.30, which places it at the heart of the effective teaching as far as the study is concerned. Now, similar to this result, Ertner and Rotenbittelitz 2010 also assert that there is really a strong cohesiveness between that of a technology blended with content knowledge domain in the realization of the successful teaching. The second problem then is, what level do science teachers possess in the following 21st century instructional skills: critical and creative thinking, communicative and collaborative, and that of innovative and ICT skills. Now, in securing the data needed, the researcher adapted the 21st century instructional skills questionnaire of Berha 2016 with, again, Cronbach alpha of 0.848, making it again a reliable one. And for my data analysis, I made use of mean and frequency count. Now, the overall result of 21st century instructional skills of teachers is then presented with a total mean of 4.12, with a verbally interpreted as highly observed. In the premise of this study, teachers have already developed such skills in the 21st century, and that they are using them to improve the quality of their instruction together with the desire to improve students' progress. For the third problem, what is the secondary science teacher's performance in terms of teaching and learning process, learning environment and diversity of learners, curriculum and planning, and assessment and reporting? Now, I had made use of the PPST, or the Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers of the Department of Education, with a Cronbach alpha of 0.944. And again, I had made use of mean and frequency count in analyzing the data. This study expresses then that both the junior high school and senior high school science teachers have very satisfactory teaching performance, as being projected on the overall mean of 3.76. They have been highlighting all of the necessary skills for them to be able to deliver the quality education deserved by every Filipino learners, in spite of the challenges brought upon by the pandemic. Now, for the fourth one, is there a significant relationship between teachers' performance, TPAC efficacy, and 21st century instructional skills? I had made use of the person-product moment correlation for me to really know if, for me to really understand and look onto the answer for my null hypothesis, which is there is no significant relationship between the teacher's performance and TPAC self-efficacy and 21st century instructional skills. Now, here, the table shows the correlation analysis of teachers' performance to TPAC self-efficacy and 21st century instructional skills. And the data show a correlation value between teaching performance and technological knowledge, or TK, with R value of 0.103 at P value of 0.043. The data clearly expresses a significant relationship between teaching performance and the technological domain of the TPAC self-efficacy that points out an idea that teaching and learning may be made more meaningful and enjoyable with the use of technology. And for the second to the last problem, is there any variable that best predicts secondary science teachers' performance? So for me to know this one, I had made use of the regression statistics for me to know on the null hypothesis that there is no variable that best predicts teachers' performance. Now in here, as this table is showing us, there is only one predictor to have that was found to have influence on teachers' performance, and that is on the technological knowledge domain of the TPAC self-efficacy. Thus, the finding rejects the null hypothesis. With this, it can be seen that science teachers' judgment of their skills and competence in technology integration are a reflection for their very satisfactory performance. And for the last problem, what causal model best fits teachers' performance in relation to TPAC domain and 21st century instructional skills. Finally, path analysis was employed in determining the causal model. Shown in here is the parsimonious model. All of the values satisfy the condition for the standard value. This indicates that the performance of science teachers is best anchored on the TPAC's efficacy and that of the 21st century, and that the result suggests that generally, the higher the teacher's understanding of their TPAC's efficacy and 21st century instructional skills, the higher is the performance they can deliver. With this value, I had then generated the best causal model that will be predicting that of the teacher's performance, which then will be dismissing the null hypothesis for this problem. And for the conclusion of the problem, TPAC's efficacy belief science teachers of the divisions of Bukidnon, Malaybalay City, and Valencia City of Mindanao, Philippines were to be of high level, indicating that they have a strong agreement that all of the knowledge domains of TPAC's efficacy are necessary in their teaching. Likewise, in the 21st century instructional skills, the teachers were rated as highly observing the skills, which include all of the domains under the 21st century instructional skills. The science teachers further have a very satisfactory teaching performance in terms of learning environment, diversity of learners, assessment and reporting, content, knowledge and pedagogy, and that of curriculum and planning. And there is a significant relationship between science teachers' performance and technological knowledge domain of TPAC's efficacy. Thus, the hypothesis can then be rejected. And technological domain of TPAC's efficacy is by far the only predictor variable for science teachers' performance as the date of the study is concerned. And lastly, there is a parsimonious causal model that best fit science teachers' performance, since all of the values were able to satisfy all of the standard indices for the goodness of fit. These are then just some of my references, but the whole list of my references were included on the manuscript I'd have provided. And before I'll end, let me share to you this very simple quote from George Couros, that technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. Terima kasih banyak telah mendengarkan. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Edgar. I hope you all enjoy this amazing presentation from Mr. Edgar. Okay, thank you. Terima kasih, Mr. Edgar. Okay, now any question, suggest or comment for Mr. Edgar for his amazing presentation? Okay, Mrs. Lestarianingsih. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I hope you are not interrupted by my question. Yes, Mr. Edgar, it is not a question. I am so interested with your article because I now teach the teacher who has to attend the professional test for the professional teacher in Indonesia. It's called the paid professional program for the teacher. Okay, that has to who wants to get the certified in Indonesia, and the TPAC is the mainly focus in this program. So okay, I interesting to get to write the article just like you do. Can I get your instrument or I use your instrument, sir?
Yes, definitely, I can share to you. Maybe I can just be looked into your email ad and I can communicate with you later on for me to share the instrument that I used also.
Okay, thank you very much. It is a big job. So
No
if the instrument is modified, it is really helpful for me. Thank you very much, sir.
No problem. Thank you so much for that.
Okay.
Okay, Mrs. Lestaria, you can send your email address for Edgar in chat box, yeah.
Okay.
So you can communicate between Indonesia and Philippines by email. So you have to discuss about the TPAC, yeah. TPAC. Okay.
Yes.
Any question or comment or suggest for Mr. Edgar article? Okay. Any question? It's so amazing. Yeah, your presentation, the TPAC. I come not from educational program, but so I interesting with this topic, yeah, digital educational, yeah, using technology. Okay. Okay, any questions, comment or suggestion for Mr. Edgar? No? Enough? Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Edgar, for your amazing presentations. Thank you to Mrs. Sarianingsih for your comment. Yeah. Okay, we can go to the next presenter for Mrs. Tricia. Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Edgar. Okay, we go to Miss Tricia L. Gundrav with the title article Observance of Reducing Waste and Conserving Resource by the BSB students of North Luzon, Philippines State College. Mrs. Tricia sent us our video presentation, so we enjoy her video.
To all the panel evaluators, co-researchers, fellow researchers, and audience, good day everyone. I am blessed and grateful to present to you our research study entitled The Observance of Reducing Waste and Conserving Resources by the BSBA students of NLPSC or North Luzon, Philippines State College. Yours truly, Tricia Algundran, with my co-researchers, Mrs. Marife D. Alviento and Mr. Jeric L. Padsing. Our country, the Philippines, has generated large amounts of waste in just a year, from food, garden waste, construction and demolition waste, mining waste, industrial waste, sludge, and even from old gadgets, televisions, machines, plastic bags, paper, sanitary waste, old clothes, and old furniture. The amount of waste we generate is closely linked to our consumption and production patterns. The sheer number of products entering the market poses yet another challenge. Demographic changes like in the increase of population and even the number of one-person households also affect the amount of waste we generate. And as we observe, poor waste management contributes to climate change, the most commonly global phenomena, and air pollution, and directly affects many ecosystems and even us, species, and other animals. Landfills, considered the last resort in the waste hierarchy, release methane, which is known to be a very powerful greenhouse gas linked to climate change. This methane is formed by microorganisms present in landfills from biodegradable waste, such as food, paper, and garden waste. Depending on the way they are built, landfills might also contaminate both the. We found out that there were still few studies related to solid waste management, and us researchers wanted to dig deeply on the extent of observance or the implementation of the solid waste management policy in the school, so that it could be a basis for the school to further improve, or to continue the best practices within the school. This prompted the researchers to conduct the study, especially in a school setting. And the methodology of the study, we use the descriptive survey method with a questionnaire as the major instrument in gathering the data. In the first part of the research instrument, or the questionnaire, is the profile of the respondents, while part 2 deals with the extent of observance of the student respondents in reducing waste and conserving resources. We also use the statistical treatment of data. After the data collection, the data then got tallied and analyzed with the use of the tools, the frequency and percentage, the mean, t-test, and the person R. And here are the results of the study. Under the profile, it was found out that most of the respondents are females, Catholics as well. Majority of them are residents in the municipalities outside Candon City and have an average monthly allowance of 2,000 to 2,999.99 pesos. It was found out along the extent of observance of the student respondents of NLPSC along reduced. We have the 10 items, and it revealed that the respondents make sure that faucets in the house or households, even schools, are kept closed when not in use to prevent water spilling, garnered the highest mean of 4.08, and found out as a whole that the student respondents often observe reducing energy to preserve the natural environment with the computed value, mean value of 3.64. Along the reuse, it was found out that the student respondents often observe the practice of reusing to help preserve the natural environment with the computed mean value of 3.73. However, they only practice sometimes the following items. We have sell old clothes, appliances, toys, and furniture in garage sales or ads, or donate them to charities with a mean of 3.35. On the extent of observance of student respondents of NLPSC along recycle, we also have 10 items, and it was found out that the respondents rated all the indicators in recycle, such as know how to recycle, different used materials, collect recyclable materials like empty water bottles, soda cans, and newspaper. And as a whole, it was found out or revealed that their student respondents often practice recycling to help preserve the natural environment with a computed mean value of 3.72. Under the findings, between the relationship of the profile and the extent of observance, it was gleaned on the table that the sex, place of residence, monthly allowance, religion, and the kind of scholarship privilege does not significantly correlate to the level of observance or the extent of observance in reducing waste and conserving resources along the 3 Rs. To conclude, based on the said findings of the study, the researcher made the following conclusions. First, the student respondents often observe reducing energy to preserve the natural environment with the computed mean value of 3.64. And second, they often observe the practice of reuse to help preserve the environment with the computed mean of 3.73. And third, they often practice recyclable things or recycling the observance of recycling process to conserve and preserve the environment with a computed mean value of 3.72. And lastly, the profile does not significantly affects the observance of the 3 Rs. And based on the conclusions, the findings, the following recommendations are presented. First, the respondents should continue observing the practice of the 3 Rs. And second, they should always reuse products in different ways and to help cut down or trim down the amount of waste we throw away and conserve the resources that we have. Third is the school should initiate programs, projects, activities like symposium and fora regarding the reduction of waste, so that the members of the academy would have a better understanding on the significance about reducing waste, reuse of materials, and recycle. And lastly, a further study should be conducted, particularly to find out the best practices of public and even the private offices on the conservation of energy and other matters. So here are the references. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless. We are now ready for your comments and suggestions.
Okay, this is the video from Mrs. Tricia, and now Mrs. Tricia joined with us. So you can give a questions, comment, or suggest for Mrs. Tricia Gundran because she is joined with us now. Mrs. Tricia. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Tricia, for your video presentation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, any questions, comment, or suggestion for Mrs. Tricia? Ladies and gentlemen, I will information to you. This is panel sessions will upload in UNIPMA's YouTube channel. So we are delighted if you also subscribe, like, and comment on this video. Okay. Okay, any questions for Mrs. Tricia Gundran for her article? Okay, enough? Oh, still Miss Ma'am. Okay, I'm sorry, Miss Tricia Gundran. Okay, any questions for Miss Tricia? Okay, Mr. Edgar.
Hi, Mom. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning here from our end. Now, I would like to ask actually on what pushes you to really decide in studying that of the 4 hours or even that on relation to the garbages.
Hello, sir. Good morning from Ilocos, from the Philippines. Thank you so much, sir. Am I loud and clear po? Okay po. Okay, so in relation to that, we are from North Luzon, Philippine State College from Ilocos, Philippines. And we've conducted this one because aside from having information literacy and having digital literacy, especially now that we are in the 21st century, we're also left behind in terms of the environmental literacy. So that pushes us to at least have it as a priority in our school and of course to take a look on the awareness and the observance as the main objective of this study on the extent of observance of those students from the business admin students. So that pushed us, especially now that one of the sustainable developmental goals of the UN, or when we say it is in global, we are focusing on also one of the climate actions. So with regards to that, we address it by this kind of research, sir.
Thank you, Mom.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Edgar, for your questions, and thank you for Miss Tricia Gundran for answering Mr. Edgar's question. Okay, any questions, comment, or other suggestions for Miss Tricia Gundran? Okay, now enough. Thank you for your great presentation, Miss Tricia. And then go to the next presenter, Miss Adeline Silaban. Miss Adeline, I see you join with us. But sorry, Miss Adeline, your video cannot play in Zoom because your type of video different from us. So maybe you can present your presentations without video. This is Adeline Silaban, number 9. I see your name in this. Okay, I see your name. Okay. Hello, Miss Adeline Silaban. Okay. So we go to the next presenter, to Miss Syamsiatus Zahrotul Ummah with the title of article, Plan Ecology Learning Modeling with Python Programming to Support Digital Argumentation Skills. Miss Syamsiatus sent us the video presentation. So let's join her video.
Hello everyone, I am presentation with my team, Marhenil Kitasari, Jeffrey Handika, Wasarul Murtafi'ah, and me, Samsyar Zahra Atul, Khairul Ummah, and Nadifa Afionita. I'm come from University PGRI Madiun, with title Plan Ecology Learning, Modeling with Python Programming to Support Digital Argumentation Skills. Introduction: Learning is in the era of the Industrial Revolution and the area of society as it today requiring technological support, especially when electronic learning is incurring being used. Advances in technology have given rise to many innovative digital services on many types of platforms. Implementation of technology as a digital program in the form of coding that is popular and often used in Python. Biology learning material, including the discussion of ecology, is a study that discusses the reciprocal relationship between inorganic and organic components. The Python program, which is designed based on the theme of the plant ecology lecture, has the advantage of choosing a reading reference to help students understand the material at the basis of the two process. Method: this research is a development research or R&D with reference to the AD model, analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. Research activity as each stage are described or as follows. The analysis was carried out by interviewing and observing the 6 semester students. The design was carried out by compiling a Python program based on plant ecology material. Development carried out by media validation and expert validator, with the component being validated where software aspect of learning media, and the suitability of the device with learning. In addition, the development stage is also carried out with small-scale trial on students as the main user. Implementation with limited trial and evaluation is carried out by revising or improving the Python-based learning media product. Data analysis was carried out descriptive, qualitative at each stage. Result and discussion analysis. The result of interview related to needs so that students still learning media that are able to support understand plant ecology material. Activity of students state that it was difficult to convey argument because of limited information and less study time. The stated the variety on technology-based learning media would help improve understanding of the material while achieving an optimal experience in terms of using technology. The design of learning media programming for the plant ecology course begins with the preparation of product design in the form of flowchart and user experience. With the figure of design, flowchart, and user experience. Development, the result of the development stage based on media and content expert validator get results that are feasible and can be used. The revision give and suggestion include the suitability of the question to be more varied and impress problem solving. Well, the result of the development based on student response when using the Python programming application gave a positive response with a percentage of 90, 94, 60, 60, 94 and 60% in the very good category. User student provide suggestion for adding variation to the type of reading or article in order to get more complete information in accordance with the plant ecology material being discussed. For the use the Python application, they claim to be helped and happy with the application. Implementation. The implementation phase is carried out by taking the result of a problem-based learning test using the Python application to determine student DA abilities. DA is delivered by student to online learning platform in online discussion forum. Evaluation. The evaluation stage is carried out to pre-improve the result of developing learning model using Python programming. Improvement based on suggestion from validator and student as related user when inputting personal data is needed. Simpler steps transfer from one question to another often have error and is corrected by adding data storage area. Then also need improvement to delete change or junk data that is no longer needed in the database. In the conclusion, the development of learning media by utilizing Python programming for plant ecology course have a positive impact in increasing student DA. Python programming is designed with scientific knowledge as a first step that encourages students to pay attention to important concepts related to the material. Large-scale trial using development results are still needed to get a more comprehensive picture of student digital argumentation ability as an important part of higher order thinking skill.
Okay, this is a video from Mrs. Samsiatus. Because Mrs. Samsiatus cannot join with us, maybe one of you can give comment or suggestion for Mrs. Samsiatus. So she asks, what's your comment or suggestion about her article in the YouTube channel? Okay, any comment or suggestions? Okay, no, enough. Okay, next we go to our last presenter in this group from Mr. Sandy Dwi Haryanto with article title Edupedia, Intelligent Tutoring System on Learning Difficulties. But Mr. Sandy sent us the video so we can enjoy this Mr. Sandy's video.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Thank you for your opportunities that have been given to my panel section on the third ICETECH in 2022. Here I'm Sandy Dwi Haryanto, represent my team from the vocational program Text Management on Fakultas Ekonomi and Business Universitas PGRI Madiun. The result of our research entitled Edupedia, Intelligent Tutoring System on Learning Difficulties. Let's move on the next slide. Okay, we have a new about introduction in my article. We have 4 points introduction and to represent to our audience. Okay, point one, the development in the era of globalization is accompanied by the increasing role of information and communication technology in human life. Technology is one of the primary needs for people in the world who can access in the information. The technology progress continue to develop following the changing time and times that have entered a new era life. The kind is life is known in life, electronic life, meaning that the life has been influenced by various needs electronically. Okay, I'm sorry. The second point, we have the role of technology in education is one of the critical program for students caused by the process learning the material and system itself. One example of the role technology in education example is artificial intelligence, which is developed into the intelligent tutoring system. And then the rapid growth of technology in education, evidenced by computer-based learning, include e-learning, mobile learning, education games, and education application. That is easy step to convert manual learning into the computer system to student needs and the result of the learning assessment. And then the existence of the learning difficulties is natural things experienced by every student in the world. So the role of technology in the field education is a reason why a learning has expanded student interest in implementing a learning with a Swiss table of heterogeneous learning process with a population of students who do not understand the material. Okay, the next introduction, the existence of the assessment system for students is solution and feedback design to streamline the level of knowledge and standardized learning process. The process assessment system comes every learning process where formative assessment in based on student feedback in the learning process and the role of student in solving problems. And then the intelligent tutoring system or ITS is a computer program that models student psychological state by providing individual interaction to help the learning process according the subject or skill student process. And then the key of the successful implementation of the intelligent tutoring system is ability to adapt, encourage pedagogical activities for students and meet student needs. And then the intelligent tutoring system tries to identify some characteristics of each student that allow them to confirm the criteria and to find out of the react the some action in the learning processes. And then we have two opportunity to represent my innovation of technology in educational application. We call Edupedia. Edupedia is application is include to the form a commerce that offer educational service by connecting student or parents or user with private teacher. The concept offered this with just one press. There will be agreement between user is student and parents, and the private teacher. Okay. Okay. Edupedia has been developed since 2016. Edupedia is a grant output from the Ministry of Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia with a grant scheme for funding the Indonesian Student Business Competition or KBME. The team developed application and experienced additional feature in the order to achieve the goals of making it easier to solve student problems in the learning. This application has been established since 2017 after the team became the university representative to the Student Business Expo event in 2017 in Pontianak, Indonesia. And then Edupedia also has patent from the Indonesian Ministry of Law and Human Rights in 2018. Okay, the next we discuss about grounded theory. Well, here I will explain about the ground theory used in the study. So, on the formulation of the problem in the study, our research, we are to use theory on uses and gratification theory. Use and gratification theory is that media user play an active role in choosing and using the media. And then the suitable of theory used in the study is the use and gratification theory. A theory have assumes that user have choice to satisfy their needs. And then Edupedia in application that offers several services to make easier for customer to get private teacher for children with the concept of Go Smart through Edupedia. Okay, next, method and procedure. Then here I will explain related research method and research procedure that we have to be able procedure to result. Namely, number one, the type of research is experimental research. Number two, the population in the study, we user of the Edupedia application. The research technique will use test and non-test instrument using picture, observation and interview. And the last, work data for the control and experimental group researchers will be collected to conduct an assessment. And then we have to group to represent about experimental research. The group one, the control group, are students who have learning difficulty but are still overcoming problem with independent study or conventional method. And then the experimental group is students with learning difficulties using Edupedia to solve learning problem using EduFace, EduHome, and EduDiscuss. Okay, we have arrived in the result and discussion. In this section, we have to represent about two tables. The first is table related to description of respondent or experimental resources. And then the second table in assessment of each level education that we classify. Okay, which as follow, table 1 to represent about description of the research sample. We have 20 research sample, and then table 2 represent about assessment each of level studies. Level studies is junior high school, and then senior high school or vocational high school level. Okay, next, here I will explain related to discussion of the analysis that we have carried about experimental tests. We have 3 discussion points. The first related to level of the learning difficulties and student learning assessment. And then this second point, learning difficulties level and Edupedia feature. And the third point, Edupedia feature effectiveness and student needs. Okay, the point 1 about the level learning difficulties and student learning assessment is the existence of the learning difficulties in a natural things experienced by every student in the world. So the role externality in the field of the education reason by learning has expanded student interest in implementing learning, which is stable of heterogeneous learning progress processes, with the population of students who do not understand the material. And second point, learning difficulties level and Edupedia feature. Intelligent tutoring system so that students can understand the learning process according to their needs and improve learning outcomes. We have another feature to serve Edupedia application. We have three services. Number one, EduPace, EduHome, and the last, EduDiscuss. As overall to provide access to students in dealing with their learning difficulties. And then the last third point, Edupedia feature effectiveness and the student needs. But that effectiveness of the use Edupedia overcoming learning difficulties for the experimental group illustrate that his existence of Edupedia provide few solutions for students. Edupedia can simplify the learning process and monitor the quality of student learning with the report cards that are presented by become part of the application content to realize the alignment of goal between private teacher, student, and parents. Okay, we have arrived in the subsection of the conclusion in the study. We have the several points that have become conclusion point. Number one, the study aims to determine effectiveness of using Edupedia application based on intelligent tutoring system in overcoming learning difficulty in students. And then the Edupedia application is designed and developed from the adaptive system an adaptive system for each student so that it can improve student learning outcomes. And the last, the effectiveness of the use Edupedia in overcoming learning difficulties for experimental group illustrate that the existence of Edupedia provide few solutions for students. Okay, well, thank you for your attention that has given to me. If there are further future questions, please contact my email and my cell phone number. Thank you very much. There is mistake. I'm sorry. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, this is the video from Mr. Sandy. Maybe any comments or suggestions for Mr. Sandy's video? Okay, enough. So we go to the last presenter from Miss Jenny Line. With the title of article is Exploring ICT Competence of Cervantes District Teachers, Basis for Training Designs for Extensions Program. So, but Mrs. Jenny sent us the video presentation. We will see the Mrs. Jenny's videos. Okay, before we see the Mrs. Jenny's video, before I close this panel session, maybe you can open your camera and we take a documentation or photograph, yeah, after Mrs. Jenny's session. Okay, wait for a moment for Miss Jenny's video.
Good morning to each and everyone. This is Ms. Janeline S. Lisayan, and I'm proud to present to you the result of our research titled Exploring the ICT Competence of Cervantes District Teachers, Basis for Training Designs for Extension Program. So the educational setting has evolved to meet the demands of the time. It has welcomed new trends to improve instruction and thus produce citizens who could compete globally. One of the biggest trends that have revolutionized education is the coming of information and communication technology, or ICT. ICT could effectively improve the performance of learners to an extent because they could cater to all multiple intelligences and the learning styles of learners in just a moment of clicking when used effectively. To maximize the benefits of the educational technologies could offer and become technologically equipped, ready to teach the 21st century learners, a highly skilled workforce with the aptitude and skill sets in the application of ICT are pivotal. This implies that teachers need to be trained along with ICT competencies to firmly stand with the technology will never replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of teachers is transformational. This research aims to determine the profile of the respondents in terms of age, educational attainment, and plantilla position. Second, determine the level of ICT competence of teachers along technology operations and concepts, competency, social and ethical competency, pedagogical competency, and the professional competency. Third is to determine the significant relationship in the levels of ICT competence and profiles of teachers. And lastly is to determine what training design can be developed. So this study employed the descriptive correlational research design and utilized the 120 public teachers of Cervantes District. We also adopted questionnaire of Caloza et al. 2017. So although it was adopted, the validity was ensured. Here are the results for objective number 1, which is on the demographic profile of teacher respondents. In terms of their age, most of the respondents are from 41 to 45, 36 to 40, and 31 to 35 age brackets. Overall, 70% of the respondents are still young in profession, which may imply that they have all the power and strength to face the many challenges in the job. For educational attainment, majority of the respondents are bachelor's degree holder, while there are equal number of respondents who have MA units and master's degree holder, and about 3.33% only are continuing their doctorate degree. For their plantilla position, still many of them are on the entry-level position. However, majority are already promoted for a reason that most of the respondents continue pursuing their advanced education as presented earlier. For the second objective, which is on the level of ICT competence of teachers, in terms of technology and concepts, their level of ICT competence is described as competent. Thus, the teachers demonstrate good knowledge and skills in terms of technology operations and concepts, which includes the basic troubleshooting, productivity tools, internet and network resources, and information and data management. Same with their ICT competence along social and ethical domain. So it is described as competent. This is only means that the teachers have the ability to discuss and interpret the use of ICT socially and ethically. For the pedagogical domain, teachers have competent level as manifested by the mean of 2.58. This means that the teachers make effective use of ICT to support and extend teaching and learning. However, it is notable that teachers are slightly competent in applying technology to develop students' higher order thinking skills and creativity, and also with technology to facilitate a variety of appropriate assessment and evaluation strategies, recognizing the diversity of learners. Finally, the level of competence of teachers in the professional domain is slightly competent. This means that teachers are fair in terms of the application of ICT to professional development, particularly on competencies related to professional growth and development, research, innovation, and collaboration. They fairly evaluate and reflect on the use of technology in the profession for development and innovation. Partly, share experiences and expertise, and halfway collaborate with peers and stakeholders in advancing the use of technology in education and beyond. The low rating to this domain could be attributed to some factors, namely availability of technology resources, weak internet signal in the workplace, and the cost of internet connectivity. Generally, the level of ICT competence of teachers is 2.62, described as competent. This means that teachers of Cervantes District are competent in ICT. They are good in terms of the concepts and operations of technologies, social and ethical considerations in using technology, and their application to teaching. Since they are only good as manifested by the weighted mean, which is at the bottom of the range of scores, it could be pronounced that some of them are not yet confident enough with the competence they hold. So for objective number 3, the relationship between the age, educational attainment, and academic rank to the ICT competence level of the teachers is statistically significant. This only means that their age, educational attainment, and academic rank have something to do with their competence level in ICT. So here are the different indicators that teachers are likely competent. Apply technology to develop students' higher order thinking skills and creativity, which includes make students use database, spreadsheets, concept mapping tools, and communication tools, etc. Encouraging students to do data analysis, problem solving, decision making, and exchange of ideas. Another standard is apply technology to facilitate a variety of appropriate assessment and evaluation strategies recognizing the diversity of learners, which includes setting up online databases or repository of student works. Another standard is continuously evaluate and reflect on the use of technology in the profession for development and innovation. This includes conduct research on the use of technology in the classroom, follow online tutorials or online degree programs, and actively participate in online forums and discussions. And last, they are slightly competent in sharing experiences and expertise and collaborate with peers and stakeholders in advancing the use of technology in education and beyond. This includes published research on the use of ICT in education and sharing lesson plans, worksheets, templates, and teaching materials through course websites. So based on the findings, the following are concluded. The demographic profiles of the teachers based on the result of the study are diverse. Most of them are still young in age and are being promoted, which may be the result of their advanced education. Another, the ICT competence level of the teachers in different domains is at competent level. Thus, teachers have basic knowledge in ICT. However, this is not enough to say that all the teachers are already competent in all of the domains. Age, educational attainment, and plantilla positions have significant impact on the ICT skills of the teachers. Thus, the mentioned profiles are predictors of the ICT competence of teachers. And last, there is a need to conduct trainings and seminars to enhance the knowledge of teachers in ICT in some aspects. So here are the recommendations. Profiles should be considered in conducting capability buildings to warrant more successful results. It is highly recommended to develop a training that could help improve the competence level of the teachers, especially in the professional domain. Future studies may be conducted also to look closely into the significant differences of the level of ICT competence of the teachers in the district to determine groups who are really in need of the capability building to extend. And lastly, professional development programs should be organized for teachers that focus on the ICT competencies, particularly in the professional area. Thank you so much for listening.
Okay, this is the video from Miss Jenny Line. Because Mrs. Jenny joined with us, maybe any questions, suggest or comment for Miss Jenny Line Lisayan article? Okay. Okay. Any questions, comment or suggestions for Miss Jenny? Because Miss Jenny is still joined with us. Okay, no? Enough? Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for this panel sessions today. Digital education will help us to educate a better generations of our nations. Hopefully, with the development of technology, we will bring about a transformations of education for the better. Okay, so this concludes for the sessions today. Thank you for your attendance here. I hope we can meet again in other occasions. As the moderator today, I would like to say thank you and apologize if during moderating this panel sessions, there was an unpleasant mistakes. If you want to watch again about this video conference, you may go to Universitas PGRI Madiun YouTube channels. We are delighted if you also subscribe, like, and comment on the video. I'll see you on the next conference. Thank you. Selamat pagi. Terima kasih.
Good day, everyone.
Thank you. If you want to go to the another rooms, if you want, you can go to the another rooms. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Keep safe.
Thank you.